Hi guys. The desire to improve and tune a car unites a large number of enthusiasts all over the world.
I love this dude.
But how far are they willing to go for this aspiration? A ghost car moving through the city without a driver, a car jacuzzi, chameleon cars, and eventually a pool table with a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. Here are the top of the most astonishing tunings in the world. This Nissan Patrol off-road seems pretty normal on the outside. However, once you open the door, the improvements definitely catch your view. Not without reason, the driverless car shocked a few residents of Dubai when driving around. The car has even received the nickname Ghost Rider for its ability to drive with seemingly no human. Well, the local handyman simply did not like the front control, so they decided to relocate it to the back. Not only the steering wheel, but also the pedals and brakes, manual transmission, and the speedometer have been moved. Basically, the whole car was remodeled so tourists could enjoy the view of the Emirates without a driver in their field of vision. Such a tuning would have been assessed even by Exhibit himself.
I love this dude.
Since there's no steering wheel in the front of this car, why not put a table pool on wheels? At least that's the opinion of the customizer, Vinnie Bergman, who has created a unique car. A pool table on wheels. As a donor, he selected an old Chevrolet Monte Carlo from the late 90s. To combine a car and a pool table, the Chevy underwent a radical surgery. On top of everything else, the car has received a new, more powerful engine, so that it, even with an additional workload, was able to speed up to 160 kilometers per hour. In fact, hybrids of cars and pool tables are not uncommon, but only this option did not lose the ability to move on its own. The removable roof and detachable cabin allow a full-featured game of pool anywhere. The idea of creating an original design which would merge two pleasant things into one, driving a car and taking a warm bath, was realized by the restless Colin Furze. So here's yet another creation of the Briton, a spa car, or a BMW bath. The eccentric inventor decided to make a movable jacuzzi on wheels out of an old BMW 3 Series. Keeping this questionable idea in mind, he decided to make the inside of the car waterproof. He reinforced the suspension so that it would be able to cope with the extra weight of the water in the car. The wires were bound in a waterproof film and the floor was fitted with leaf blowers to create bubbles. The outside received a nice touch with some fake grass. However, all this was not enough for the inventor. Colin mounted a grill in the trunk, so you'd be able to have a nice barbecue after a bath. Now it is possible to move to any part of the city taking a bath and eating juicy steaks and sausages. One of the classics of the American car industry, the 1978 Ford Fairmont went up for sale for $15,000 with the plain announcement, "Classic family sedan, in nice shape, with some improvements, goes anywhere, loves the snow." Here you can see said Ford Fairmont with a chassis from the Tucker Snowcats. If you're still puzzled, it's a snowmobile. Apparently the owner was inspired by the movie series Taxi to create this masterpiece. Is it possible to create something practical from waste? That was the goal of two homebred engineers, Mike Finnegan and David Freiberger from the Roadkill channel, who were used to putting together Hot Wheels from whatever comes into their hands. This time, the guys have turned an old, partially rotten dump truck Ford F6 in a dragster, Stubby Bob. This name was chosen because the wheelbase of the 67-year-old truck was shortened a considerable amount. Instead of the old engine, the dragster received a new one from a Chevrolet Big Block V8 which was placed behind its cabin. This was done to make a start on the rear wheels possible. The result have surpassed all expectations. A great job was also done by the colleagues of the guys from Dirt Every Day, Fred and Dave. Their original project definitely deserves a place in our rating. Their vehicle is the ultimate dream of all off-road lovers, who dreamed of an ultimate single do-it-all vehicle. What do you think will happen if two completely different vehicles, a Range Rover and a pickup truck Ford Ranger, are crossed? It will be a pre-Ranger Rover Land Runner. Using the Bi-Eye technology, the guys cut off all unnecessary parts, and in the end, they received one vehicle with 2 engines, cabins, and double-wheel steering, as well as an all-wheel drive. It looks ridiculous, but also like a good time. Over time, one is often somewhat bored with the car's monotonous color, and sometimes you have a strong desire to just change the color instantly by snapping your fingers. Here are some solutions.
Huh?
Yes, there are even 3 possible methods. This thermochromic paint changes its color when exposed to high temperatures. Every type of this material has a specific activation temperature. When heat-resistant enamel is heated up to the activation temperature set for it, the pigment becomes colorless, and when the temperature drops, it returns to its original state. There are hydropaints and paramagnetic paints. Hydropaints respond to the exposure to moisture, and the paramagnetic paints can change the coating color with the help of electricity, as well as the aid of a console. By the way, it is hard to believe that these latter paints really exist. The paramagnetic paints. This is one of the popular inquiries in search engines, which it is nevertheless difficult to find an answer for. Where do the loudest cars compete annually? In the sun-kissed Brazil. Alan Dante held the title of world champion for several years, but he lost his title last year at the final stage of DB Drag to Team Hal. The vehicle set an absolute record since it produced a sound of 184.6 dB. For understanding, more than 185 decibels are fatal. It can cause a ruptured eardrum. The force of such a sound is the same that a person would experience standing 18 meters away from an explosion of 1 kilogram of TNT. The Team Hal car is the loudest vehicle in the world, with the most powerful audio system. Well, it's the perfect way to prove that your audio system is the best. Win a car sound competition. In this case, we're talking 9 subwoofers, 9 amplifiers, 60 batteries, and a vehicle with an overall weight of 8 tons. Now we have the first model of a Camaro needed, which was a worthy competitor to the Ford Mustang popular at those times. The word Camaro is nothing else than an interpretation of the French word camarade, meaning friend, pal. And indeed, this car soon became so popular that almost every car enthusiast wanted to own one friend made out of steel. Bradley Gray from Rockwell, North Carolina was definitely not amused when he received his 1969 Camaro SS in a rather poor condition. Having spent 15 years of life for restoration of the car, Bradley is nowadays able to brag about his brainchild at various car shows. We bet you have rarely seen such an impressive engine. Bradley decided that 1 turbo is not enough, and the beast received 2 turbos. The engine power has been increased as well as with superchargers. If this still isn't enough, how about an additional boost of 200 horsepower, which the nitrous oxide system provides? Now Bradley knows what his Camaro is capable of. But as a matter of fact, he didn't intend for the car to be on the track, as it was just a hobby to him. Under the hood of this giant phenomenon covered with chrome, outwardly resembling old cigar-shaped Formula One bodies, is a crazy 30-liter 1600 horsepower engine from a tank. Whose mind invented this beast? Meet him, Randy Grubb, the baddest hot rodder in the world. Having exceptional capabilities in this field, time was due to give him a chance. This chance came in form of the giant car collection of Jay Leno. As soon as Randy found out that Leno purchased a Rolls-Royce Merlin with an Aero engine for a huge sum, he decided, without saying a word to anybody, to build for him another vehicle, but with an even larger engine. The eminent collector should have been interested in it and bought it, and Randy should have received his money, and it's a funny story, but it actually went that way. Tank Car is 6.5 meters in length, weighs 4,300 kilograms, and has a 30-liter beast under the hood. The car earned a couple of remarkable awards, caught Leno's eye, and enriched his huge collection of the rarest cars from the whole world. By the way, the engine from the American Tank M47 patent produced only 700 horsepower, but Grubb, having tinkered with the motor a lot, has virtually doubled its power. The total car's weight amounted to 4,300 kilograms, which is 1/11th of the weight of the original tank from which the engine was used. However, although this beast likes speed, it does not like turns. One fine day, the car needed 3 lanes to master a 90-degree turn. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Thank you all for watching.